Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial. Today we'll look at how we can make this website dynamic. If you remember very well, this is all static. We had to write this in our notepad, and now we need to be pulling information from the database. The last tutorial we looked at MySQL database, where we created the database, the school database. I think this is the database right here, the school website database. And we had tables, a few tables here, the about us and the gallery. So the information that we had in the table, that's the information. So want this website to be pulling information from the database. Instead of us manually editing the text files, we should simply update contents in the database and pull information from the database. So first things first, we need to change the file type, file extension for our files. So I can open our project folder. Remember last time we had this information here, the files, the about us file, admission, contact, extracurricular, gallery, index, etc. But the file extension is .html. As long as .html, it is static. So we want to use a programming language known as PHP to make our website dynamic so that we can connect to the database and pull information from the database, update information in the database, etc. So we need to change this file extension. We can do it right here by just saying rename, or you can open it and save as. But what I'll do, I'll just be editing the extension part. So I'll just put the PHP. Yeah, the warning, never mind. So I'm changing the file extension .php. Change the contacts to use .php, the file extension. Okay. I'll change that as a to use .php and the query extension to .php. And the index file .php. Yeah, that's it. So I'll open our index file. This is what we had from the last tutorial. And this is the web page. That's the index file, the page. So we had this information here. So now we want to pull this information from the database. Remember, we created a table named about Virtual School. So it had the title, the intro there, plus the image. This is the table that we created, okay, about Virtual School. All right. Pardon, I think this page is not the index page. I think it's this page. Oh, now it's giving us an error because we have changed the file extension to .php, but still here we still have .html. Okay, so we need to change this to .php on our references as well. Okay, so how do we do that? Remember, it was tiresome as well for us. We're changing each and every page where we have our navigation menu to refer to the particular page. So now the bit about PHP, we can put this in a single file and update in a single file. Then just refer to that single file on all pages. So if we have to change something, we just have to go to one page, one file, and the changes will reflect in all pages. Okay, so what area do we need to change? We need to change the navigation bar. Okay, from this side to this side, we need to put this in a single file. So I'll just copy this on our index file. I'll just cut it. Okay, I'll just remove that. Then I'll open a new file. Then I'll paste whatever I copied there so that we should keep it in a single file. So this is our menu, navigation menu. Okay, so I'll save this in our school website as let's say header. Let me just say header. Header dot yeah, we can even keep the HTML. Never mind, or the PHP, whatever. Let me just keep it to HTML. Okay. All right. So remember, we have changed our file extension here to .php. So the same we have to do. We have to change the file extension here wherever we're linking our menus. So I'll say .php there as well. .php 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 then .php and .php. Yeah, now we're good. But we need to refer now this file on all our pages so that whenever we update this file, it reflects on all pages. Okay? So it means where we move this part, the navigation bar here, we just need to put to include the file. So we open this tags for PHP. Close that. Actually, I can just put on the same line. Then I'll close PHP. So this is opening the PHP tag, and this is the closing of the PHP tag. So now I need to include that file that we have created header.html so that it should reflect on the index page. We'll do the same for all other pages. Do that, I'll just say include. I need just to include it once. Include once, then I'll say, since it is under the same files, if you go here, it's in the same folder, header.html. So we directly just say include once, header.html. Okay, that's fine. Let's refresh. For this, we're fine. If we go on the index page, we're fine. But if you go on other pages, that's fine. But on the admission page, it's not working. On gallery, it's not working because we still have those extensions. But we don't have to change on every menu like we were doing when it was under static.html. Now, what we need to do is copy this, we'll just copy this and include it on all our pages where there's navigation menu. So it will make our life easier. I'll show you how. So let me edit the about us.html. So I'll remove the navigation bar from that side to this side. So I'll replace it with, I'll replace it with the include file. That means that side it's sorted. The same I'll do it on admission. So from that side to this side, it's sorted. We're referring to the same file, header.html. Then I'll go to contract. From that side to that side, I'll save as well. Then extracurriculum. From this side to this side, I'll save. Then gallery. Then I'll do the same. I'll save. Then lastly, the index.html. Oh, index.html already changed. Yeah, that's fine. So now, if we can refresh this, all our pages now are updated using the include file. So if you go this side, it will work. If you go this side, what's wrong here? Let's see. Extracurricular.php is not found. Let's verify why. This is extra-curry.php. What is it saying? From the menu. Oh, it's single error here. That's a problem. So what we need to do, we come to that now header.html file. We just change once here. We don't have to go on every file. See, we just do that and save. Now this is done. If we can go back and refresh, then boom, it works. Now you see the beauty about having a single file where you need to change. So if you go on any page, we can refer back. it will still refer to the same file. So we can update one file, it will update everywhere else. For example, let's say we say instead of home, let's just say index page. You see what will happen. See, we've just changed here, but now we refresh, that is there. If you go to contacts page, it will refer exactly to the index page. If you go to experiment, to the index page. So that's the beauty about having the information about the menu in a single file, so that you can update. Instead, in case you have made a mistake, you can just update one file, it will reflect on all pages. Imagine you have 1,000 and thousands of pages, or hundreds and hundreds of pages, or depending on how complex your system is, you can easily track the changes using one file. So I'll put back to home dot home, not dot something, but just home. Okay. Now this part we good. We're good. So now we need to pull information from the database that should have this part and that part. How do we do it? Remember, we already created a database by the name school website. Let me open it. This school website, we have about virtual school and the gallery there. So we need to pull this information to the user. How do we do that using PHP? First of all, we need to create a connection to the database. Before we start pulling information from the database, we have to create a connection to it. So let me just open another folder that will manage our connection. Just good practice to manage your files so that you should be able to know what belongs to what. So to make it simple, let's just call it connect. Okay, connection string. For example, let's just call it connection string. Okay, so that you know what goes there. Let's just say connection string. So in here, we'll put the connection string to the database. All right. So let me open that. Then I'll create a new text file. So I'll call it. Let me call it connect. Connect. Then the file extension will be .php, since we're using PHP as a programming language to connect to a database. Okay, let me open this file now. It's an empty file. Now we have to write our connection to the database. Remember, for you to connect to the database, you have to have a username to the database and the password of the database. Okay, so I will use PDO, PHP data objects, to do this. So I'll create a class. I create a class to handle our connection string so that we can use the same class for connection. So say class, sorry, I say class, let me call this class connection. Okay. Oh, but before that, we need to tell the text editor this is, I should expect PHP code here. So I'll open the PHP tag and I'll close the PHP tag. Okay, so that class, I'll close that class. So anything concerning connection has to go within that class. And then I'll create a function that will connect to the database. Okay. Let me connect that. Then I can call it, let me just say make connection. Yeah, let me call that make connection. Then anything to do with connection, making connection has to go under this function. Okay. Then I need to put the parameters to connect. So I'll create the variable to hold our connection string. I'll say connection. Let me just call it connection. Then I'll say it's new PDO, since we're using PDO to connect PHP data object. So it's a new PDO. So in that new PDO, what we're saying is you have to tell which database you're using. So we're using MySQL to connect to a database. That's our database is hosted by MySQL. Then that's the host. localhost. It's on localhost on local machine. If you are making live, that means you have to put the IP address of your server etc. But that localhost is fine. No. Then we need to give it the database name. So we say db name, db name. So db name. Our database name, sorry, our database name is school website, like we did here. Let me just open the. This is our database name, school underscore website. So we have to reflect here, school underscore website, school underscore website. All right. Then what port is this running on? So it's running on port. It's running on port 3306. That's a default one for MySQL. All right. Then we have to give it the password. What password? So I'm using the default, which is root. You might have a different username there. So put the username that you have when you are installing the MySQL. Then I'll give you the password. For me, I'll just leave it blank. It's blank default, and I didn't change this. Then I'll close it. Okay, execute that. Then what we need to do, that's our connection string, but for testing purposes, if we meet any error, we need to get that error and see that error so that we should know how to troubleshoot. So we use the same connection, then we'll set attribute, okay, to PDO exemption, PDO, then we're saying attribute error mode. So we need to see those errors. So we need to put it in error mode. Then we utilize the PDO exemption. Okay. PDO error mode underscore exemption. All right. Okay, so that's fine. So that means it needs to. Let me close the bracket. Then that. I think that's fine. But one thing we need to do, good practice, we need to put this under try catch. So if it fails, we need to trap it. If it works, good for us. So we need to close the try area. Then we need to catch if there's an error. Then we use that catch. Then we'll put the catch block there. Then this needs to go under the try. So we'll try to connect. We'll try to connect to our database there. If it works, good for us. If not, what do we need to do? We need to trap it. So we need to trap it since we're using PDA exemption. PDA exemption. Let's just call it. Then we need to echo the error so that we're able to know what's the problem. So just say error. Then I'll take the actual error so that we have a clue what's happening. So get the actual error, so I'll say E, then I'll get the get message, utilizing the get message function. Okay. All right, so if the connection is successful, we need to return the connection. We need to return the connection so that we can use it somewhere else. All right. So we got, so this, we use this function class to initiate connection object so that it needs to connect to our database so that we can pull the information from here or add information from this database. All right. So that connection string is in here. This is the connected PHP. What next? We need now to write the logic that will connect us to the database and pull out the information. So a good practice, anything to do with the logic, the model to connect between the database and the user interface, you need to put them in a single file a folder that you can just go to that. If you need to change the logic, you go to that folder or file and change it. So I'll just call it logic. I'll just call it logic. So let me go into the logic folder and I'll create a text file. I'll call this, let me call these functions. So all the functions to get information or put information in the database should be under this function.